Palmistry is a way of understanding what's going on beneath by looking at the surface, and we can tell what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, and work out how to play to your strengths and get what you want out of life. People often come to me because they've got something they want to achieve, but it's just not working and it keeps going wrong. It might be they keep launching businesses and they don't get anywhere. So I might look at whether this person was a more fiery person with shorter fingers and longer palm, or a more air person, a more kind of intellectual person or conceptual person with longer fingers and a squarer palm. And then I would be advising them on what kind of strategies to use to get what they want. So for example, if someone's got shorter fingers and a deeper but shorter headline, they're going to be the kind of person that makes good decisions when they make them quickly. And if their headline is broken, it goes all over the place, then the more they think about something, the more complicated it's going to get. Whereas if they have longer fingers and a clearer headline and a more let's say a straighter Saturn line as well. There's all kinds of things that goes into it, but they're going to be good at writing things down, making lists and things like that. Often people, they're saying, I do my affirmations every morning, but I still don't get that thing. And I look at the hand and I say, well, you don't have a particularly verbal hand. So affirmations aren't really going to help you out, but you do have a little line here, which you see on someone who's got a good visual imagination. You're going to be the kind of person who should imagine what it looks like when it's actually complete, rather than thinking about the strategy. Another example would be when you see people who have these kind of bulges at the end of their fingers. They're called droplets, and the anatomy of it means that they have more touch receptors in their fingers, so their fingertips are fatter, and those people have a particularly elevated tactile sense. So those are the people who want to feel their way into the answer. So they might get confused if they're trying to work out if this person is good for them or not by thinking they've done this, or they might get a little bit overwhelmed by their emotions, because emotions are not often a very good way to make decisions about things. They're things to enjoy, but a lot of people, the heart line is a little bit broken. But if they can put their mind into their skin and they can see which way their body is going when they're with that person, then the body feeds them information. If they have a certain type of hand which reflects something which is going on deeper in themselves. There's a number of reasons why people might be failing in what they're doing. One of them might be that they're trying to do something which isn't really for them. And you can often tell by where the fate line is. If it's tightly linked to the lifeline, and also if the headline is tightly linked to the lifeline, then they might be doing the kind of thing which they have been told to do by their folks and by their background. If those people, you want to encourage them to be feeling into what they really want to do, and there's other techniques to do that. For example, I might hypnotize those people and ask them to go into themselves and see what kind of wisdom they find in there. Alternatively, you might find someone who's got, like me, like a big gap between the headline and the lifeline. And these are people whose head is not attached to life generally. They're not particularly practical. They can be quite the opposite of risk averse. And the wider that gets, the more risky they can become in their behavior. And for those people, I might be wanting to ask, if they really want to be taking those risks, they really want to be going to those extremes, or if they want to reel it in because those risks and that dopamine cycle has become a little bit of a habit. A palmistry session is an intimate and therapeutic space, and the beauty and the magic of it is in the strength of the container. When you come to me for a session, what passes between us stays with us. I'm not interested in sharing it. I'm interested in understanding your hand, and I'm interested in understanding your potentials and helping you out with living the best way that you can.